I know there ain't nobody gonna be jumping in here on here to talk with me, but I'm gonna talk that stuff anyways, people. So, yeah, a little bit about me that we can speak on. I do not drink soda, as I know that's a weird thing to start off with saying. Drink water and body armors. Um, I once was obesely overweight. I was 260 pounds, and I'm 5'7". Yeah, worked my way down to this mean, lean 220. Ain't got no muscles. I don't know why I'm doing it. But just being able to talk to at least a screen or something is so helpful, man, because I get depressed sitting here sometimes, man. My kids are asleep and they don't want to hang out with the old man. And I don't blame them. But as you see, I'm covered in tattoos. I love tattoos. They express myself, they tell me who I am, and it lets people know who I am. You know my favorite team, my favorite race car driver, everything. You know the people that meant the most to me. So I've been started doing these reactions to music videos and stuff just to see if I can get any play, and I've been doing it for a reason. Like besides the mental health aspect of it and all of this other this that and the third going on, I gotta have back surgery October 22nd. I haven't worked in years because like a few years because of my back, and I figured there's a guy that I follow and watch. His name is Jay Topsky. He used to work at the Reptarium in Michigan, and Jay went out on his own and started a YouTube channel. And I had a YouTube channel that mainly I just posted video games and stuff and a few shorts with me in it. And I was not consistent to do it every. I didn't have it in me, man. It was just. But I've not been working. I've not been nothing. I gotta have surgery on my back. So I come to speak to a camera 3 minutes in and nobody's joined yet. That is fine. I'll post it as a video and they'll watch it. Sometimes it gets hard though when you try to talk to people in person because you feel like they're judging you. And I don't care if they're judging me or not, but I don't want my doctor judging me, you know what I mean? So I would rather speak to a screen. Now on this channel we're gonna come across things probably political, musical, entertainment, gaming, whatever you all want to do, we'll do it. And I'm not opposed to blogging like my day at the shooting range with the crossbows or going on a walk to the rock hole. You know, I mean, I'm not opposed to showing you all more of my life. If the interest is there, then that's fine. But talking about tattoos, you know, my musical icon, who I like, they were two: George Jones and Brett Michaels. Not in that order. Brett Michaels, to me, is the GOAT of hairband rock and roll. Poison and the Brett Michaels band is, in my opinion, they wrote the greatest song that's ever to be written. Every Rose Has Its Thorn is the greatest song ever written. I'll fight you for it. That's how much I believe in that song, man. But like, oh God, I'm trying to get comfortable here, man. But the just the Brett Michaels in general, I always admired Brett Michaels. Balls and Chains was the first song I ever heard by him. And then I started seeing pictures. So I remember as a kid on my arm, if you look at Brett's arm, He has the something to believe in tattoo with the cross. I remember taking a marker when I was a kid because I was a really good artist and doing and like drawing that on my skin because I thought that it was cool. Like so long, man, I went under addiction and it was like so at a very young age too. So I wrestled in high school. I I wrestled in high school. I played football. All done all the sports. I was a three sport athlete, but I knew that that wasn't taking me nowhere. I knew that I was destined to be a laborer my entire life. So that's what I done. I labored for people, other people, helped family out, whatever they needed done, worked for numerous people. Just a few years ago before I got hurt, I was cutting 29 yards every 2 weeks by myself, alone, with no help, and a push mower and a weed eater, a steel weed eater. And that's no joke. I ran my own lawn care business for 10 years. And over that 10 years, I had, I don't know, maybe 120 different clients. Like every year would be different. It's like someone would pass away and they'd get somebody else to cut their yard. But I was down 29 yards every 2 weeks, not counting the other stuff I done for my uncle, my mom, my grandmother, and all that, plus trying to help out the older people for free by just cleaning up their yard. Um, but look, I am making YouTube videos that are getting views. Not many views right now, but they are getting views. I have 1,370 subscribers, okay? I'm from a small town country bumpkin, Southwest Virginia, redneck to the core hillbilly that loves everybody. I ain't got no hate for nobody. As long as you don't me, I want you. I've been sober and off of pain pills since December the 14th, 2016, after battling the addiction a long time. Alcohol and pain pills do not go. So I was going to go. So the story about that is how I broke my back the first time. So the first time was in 2011. My brother was getting ready to go to Afghanistan for his first deployment. So I was like, I need to do something with my life. I'm not doing nothing. I'm an addict, but I had nerve problems. Like I'd been on nerve medication for my nerves, narcotic nerve medication since I was 14-year-old. And at 24, putting all those stuff on, I went and they said, hey, if you can somehow come off the Klonopins, we will take you. And I said, good deal, you got it. So I stopped taking it. I took the whole bottle and I flushed them down the toilet. My nerves at that point were just going to have to settle on, hey, you don't have no medicine, is what I was thinking. So the first day, I felt fine. Second day, I was a little jittery, but I was fine. No withdrawals, no nothing. The third day, I woke up that morning with a headache so bad I couldn't even move my eyes. I couldn't even hardly talk. And and I was laying in the bed. My girlfriend at the side was beside me, and I said, "Hey, this was like 6 o'clock in the morning." I woke her up. I said, "Hey, where's cigarettes at?" Because at the time, I smoked cigarettes, and haven't smoked cigarettes in 10 years either. But So she gives me the cigarettes, and I smoke. I light it up. The first puff rocks me. It makes me lightheaded. I said, well, it's done that the past few mornings, but I've been all right. But it was severely. I took another draw, and I had to put it down. Something wasn't right in my head. My head was hurting. Something wasn't right. So we were staying at my mom's for a couple days before we went back to our house. So I remember mom was in the living room, and all day that day she kept asking me, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just got a headache." I kept taking ibuprofen. It was doing nothing. I took um, some other non-narcotic pain medicine. Nothing ever helped my head. And so I remember laying in bed watching Rock of Love with Brett Michaels on it. You all know that if you're my age. All day. It was a whole day marathon of Rock of Love. And this happened on July the 29th. July the 29th, 2011 is when it happened. A month after my mom's birthday. So I wake up and I'm going to the bathroom and I'm noticing that everything looks like it's floating. Like everything's spinning, like nothing's real. Nothing felt real. It felt like I was on a bad trip and I wanted to get off. So the last thing I remember is like 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock. I gotta go to the bathroom. So instead of going to the bathroom in the hallway, I said I'm gonna go to the bathroom in the kitchen. I don't know why I done it, or beside the kitchen. I don't know why I done it. I just went and done it. So I'm walking in there and I stopped, and I remember putting my hands on my face and saying, "Mom, help me." And after that, I remember nothing after that point, and I couldn't remember nothing after that point until days later. So during that, I punched a cop. Well, okay, let's rewind. So they get me into the ambulance. I come to and I hear them tell my mom, they say, made us at the hospital, we'll have him there. So my mom and my girlfriend are going. Now I noticed that I'm covered in blood and I have foam like all over my face. And I'm in back of an ambulance and they're trying to strap me down. So I don't know what's going on. So I start freaking out. And I stand up and a woman EMT grabbed me and said, I don't know what drugs you're on, but you're going to lay down. And she tried to shove me down. So when she did, I punched her right in her mouth and I kicked the ambulance door open and then I blacked out again. So I don't know how long I was out. They said a total from the time it started to the time I got to the hospital. The ambulance didn't even take me to the hospital. So they call the cops and they tell the cops that I'm on drugs, that I'm over here doing this. And I am not. I'm trying to come off drugs or come off the nerve medication so I can go to the army like my brother did and get out of this small town. And let's see what happened. So I remember coming to again on my front porch and I'm laying on the porch and I got a handcuff on my wrist. And the cop is physically trying to handcuff me to the banister because he said I was trying to kick in my front door to my mom's house. I don't know none of, I don't remember that part. But they said that I was so violent during that seizure. So I'm in the hospital and I come to okay, the cop's trying to handcuff me. My mom pulls back in and she starts cussing the ambulance people like, why haven't you got him to the hospital yet? This, that, and the third going on. And the EMTs are like, he's fighting us. He won't let us. We got to do a pre-check before we get there. Well, no, he's dying. So the ambulance just called the cops. Now the cop was trying to handcuff me to the porch, and I balled my fist up, and I remember I punched him harder. I broke this finger and this finger when I hit him on this hand, and I punched him right in the mouth. And I never hit nobody that hard. So we get to the hospital, and I'm laying down. I got needles, and I'm strapped up, and they got me all out like this, and I'm strapped down. And the doctor has his hands on my chest, putting a tube down my throat, while another doctor is shoving a tube through the side of my rib cage because I broke my ribs and punctured my lung. So they're putting tubes in my ribs or whatever they're doing. So I had a so there the doctor told me that there's two main medications or two things that cause seizures like that in people that don't have them: alcohol and withdrawal from benzodiazepines. And that's what I was doing. I was in full blown withdrawal. So I was in ICU, handcuffed. Both hands at first were handcuffed to the bed. And I remember the doctor saying his heart rate's 189. I'm afraid he's going to go into a cardiac arrest. So they're giving me this medicine to stop seizures, and it works. And I come to, my heart rate starts going down, my blood pressure starts to level a little bit, but it's still dangerously high. They don't know the lack. I didn't know my name. I didn't know the date. Didn't know who the president was. Didn't know my mom's name. Didn't know my kid's name. Didn't know nothing. So I'm in ICU, and there's a security guard sitting there, and I'm talking with him, and he's got pictures, and he's showing me these pictures. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? Do you remember who this person is? And I couldn't remember none of them. Nothing was there. I felt like I was alive, but dead at the same time. Like I couldn't remember my name. People was calling me by my name, but I didn't know it. Like they wouldn't let people back there to see me for a very long time, even when I was in ICU. And and I appreciate everything them doctors and nurses did that day to save me. So after this happens, well, during this, when I said, "Mom, hey," I put my hands up, I fell on the corner of my mom's coffee table, solid oak coffee table, pointy corners on it. You all know what I'm talking about. I fell directly back onto it, broke my T6, my T8, and my T9 vertebrae, and I laid in ICU for a week, telling them, crying, telling them my back was hurting. Around day 3, I started to remember things. So I asked about the cop. It's like, how's the cop that I punched? He said, he's fine. You put stitches in his lip. I said, I don't remember hitting him, but I broke 2 fingers. They were both in splints. And he's like, yeah. I was like, hey, can you please have them check my back? My back is killing me. And they was like, oh, well, we found drug narcotics in his system. Yeah, you probably did. You found pain medication in my system because I was an addict, and you found the nerve medication, and you found marijuana. That was it. That was it. So the doctors for 4 days were like, no, no, no. So they tell me, oh, you're good. You can go home tomorrow. So then there was a doctor come in, and she is a excellent doctor. Like I had seen her multiple times over multiple injuries that I'd had. So she comes in and she's like, they have a chiropractor coming in today for your back before you leave. She's like, but before he comes, we need to get a CT scan because you've been complaining with your back. And I'm like, finally, thank God. I was like, they haven't given me even They gave me nothing. I had fluids running in, food, no pain medication for my back, no nothing to stop hurting. So 5 days in ICU. Luckily, my head wasn't right for me to feel all of the pain. But around day five, and when she came in, I was crying. She said, "We're going to do a CT this, that, and third." She does it. I come back in. She says, "You're not going home. I'm moving you to another room in ICU." So she moved me across the hall of the ICU to another room that wasn't as intense as that room was. So it just had different stuff in it. So, like, we go have the CT done and come back, and she comes in there with medicine and an IV, and she's like, "I'm giving you morphine and something else. You have 3 fractured vertebrae in your back." She's like, "You are in pain." So then I wear a back brace and pain medication for the next several months. And it don't help when you're an addict. You know what I mean? But I used to have to sleep, and I still do. I had a Washington Wizards ball that my kids lost somewhere, and I wish to God I could find another one or just something like it. I've tried everything, and nothing has ever been as good as that ball was. So that ball was just a stud born it out of a crane machine, and I'd put it right on my back now. Well, leading into this back surgery I have coming up in October, a couple years ago, I was running my lawn care business, and I was standing on a cross tie that I didn't realize was rotted as bad as it was. I knew it had some spots in it, but I didn't know it was as bad as that was. So I was cutting grass and I fell, and when I landed directly on my butt. As soon as I did, I lost all feeling in both legs. I couldn't move either arm. I was sitting on my butt, legs out in front, straight up the way I'd fell, and I couldn't feel nothing. All I could do was scream and talk. I couldn't move my head. I'm trying. The weed eater is still running. I cannot turn it off. So she walks halfway down the hill. I was like, "Call 911. I think I'm paralyzed. I can't feel nothing." And I'm still while I'm waiting on the ambulance, I start to get feeling back in my neck. It starts coming back. She's grabbing my arms and she's moving them for me. And she's like, "Come on, get circulation." And I was like, "No, in case I broke some." She's like, "Just move." So I started getting feeling. It started coming back in my chest and in my shoulders. And then my left arm got good. Then my right arm got good. And I was able to feel my legs again after the ambulance got there to pick me up. I still wasn't able to feel my right leg. And till this day, I still cannot feel my right leg all day. Like I can move it, I can stomp it, I can put anything that can be done to my right leg. I can't feel it. I have no reflexes in it. It feels like it's asleep all the time, like I got little ants crawling all over it, or it's burning, or it's tingling. There's not one moment during the day it's not. So I had an MRI done, and it was com- like 65% nerve root compression on the L5, and the L4's got stenosis, the L5, the S1. So they're going to go in there in October and fuse them all together. And my career is done. Like, I will probably never be able to hold down a job again, he said. Because when they fuse your spine, it limits the mobility of of your spine. So, like, you don't have full movement up or full movement down. So, we'll figure it out. Hey, whoever's watching, thank you. You can let me know who you are down there. That'd be cool. But we're just talking, man, about music, about me, giving people something to, you know, new, fresh, new. Look, I'm not editing nothing. That ain't me. I do everything clean, straight to the point. Let's get it done. Let's get it out. I got 5 reaction videos out and a shit ton of shorts. Whether you think I'm funny or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is I'm able to talk and speak to people, and that's what matters. And I hope one day that this channel makes it to the heights. Not for me. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous, but I do want to be successful, and they are a difference. So I can no longer work the way I used to work. I can no longer do the things I used to do, but I guess that's life. When life throws you a curveball, you hit that out of the park, right? That's what we're going to do around here. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it rocking. And we're going to stay loose, baby. Y'all be easy. I love y'all. Thank you.